quote, actually with a quote from the 26th President of the United States, and he is Theodore Roosevelt. He said, "Believe you can, and you are halfway there." Do you have a career? How much have you achieved in that career you are building? What new things do you want to achieve in the career? Now, as I said, believe you can, and you are halfway there. We are here to explore about all these, and just hook to this channel and you will learn a whole lot. It is a promise, and you will testify with yourself. Let's start from the first one. What's a career? Now we're talking about building a career. What's a career?
Thank you very much, Sophie.
Okay.
Let me, as a teacher now, I think I need to start to teach.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, a career, I have like about 4 definitions
of
what a career is. Because people at times get so confused about what a career is. A career, number 1, is a profession, is an occupation, and it is a trade or a vocation. That is something that people should know. It's just an occupation, a profession, or a trade, or a vocation. That is 1. Number 2, a career is what you do for a living.
What you do for a living?
Yes. A career is what you do for a living, and the range of those, from those that require extensive training. What you do for a living, and also what requires extensive training. That is a career. Because you cannot build a career when you don't train. Whatever you do, even if it is something that you're doing it out of passion, you have to train for it in order to be perfect. And then a career could also mean working as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a teacher, as a presenter.
Is that not the same as a profession?
It is different. Yes, it is different. Because you are working.
I'm talking to a teacher, so educate us.
Yes. So it could mean working. Because at times, people, you can have a career, you can have a profession and occupation. When you've not trained for it, you've loved it, you've made it, you've gone it in for yourself, you have employed yourself. You are passionate about something, and you build a career out of it. But now when you go to professionalizing it, like, for example, you're a doctor. That is your career. You build along that line. You are a teacher. You are a presenter. You build yourself along that line of being a career, of being a professional in that area. Thank you.
Wow. This is what we are doing, actually building ourselves, actually learning to build ourselves in that professionalism.
Yes.
Honestly, I cannot forget my own struggles in building this career, even up to now, because, growth comes with a lot of challenges. And as you are establishing this career, you are not an expert, and a lot of it. So I want to ask you a question. What are the core values that that I have to build when I'm building an effective career? Because let's say I do not know anything, but I just found myself in the career. Maybe because I studied that, but then I have to come to the real life where there is competence that is very paramount. So what are the core values that I have to instill in myself in building this career?
In building a career. Okay, let us first define what a core value is. Because, before I even define a core value, I think one of the things that we need to understand, of late I realize that many people are just doing a job. And many people have gone into what they're doing, not because they're passionate about it, but circumstances. Some people, like after finishing maybe a level, like O level, or maybe A level, that is secondary, or maybe primary 7. Then they're like, what else? Let me just go and do this course. You see that? So core values are very important. Values, a core values are personal ethics or ideals that guide you when making decisions, building relationships, and solving problems. And identifying the values that are meaningful to you can help you develop and achieve personal and professional goals. So what is your compass? What is it that you are going to use as a yard? Where are your limits? What are the things that you're going to do that you feel personally, these are the things that I'm going to do. I'll specialize in this, and I'll make sure I follow this pattern.
Okay.
That core value is very important. And there are many people who do not have core values. And it is important that you have a core value or you have core values because they will help you. They will help you to be what you are.
Okay.
And they will become your trademark. Let me use that word.
Trademark.
They will become your character, your pattern. They will become who you are.
Okay.
People know you for your core values. Yeah.
They say that the first impression, that's what I hear them say, that the first impressions are always the best. So is core value involved in this, like the first impression? If I come, like in the way I'm dressing, in the way I'm talking, and the first words that come out of my mouth, are core values involved in that?
It depends on how you practice, because you can go to a place for the first time and you are shocked of your environment. But core values is what makes you. You can't fake them. You can't go to a place and you begin to pretend who you are not.
Okay.
Because after some time, your real self will come.
Will come out,
Yes.
obviously. You cannot hide it forever.
So the core value is what makes you, what you have decided to make a pattern of your life.
Okay.
Let me say, let me call it a discipline. My ethics, there are things that I do, and there are certain things that I've chosen not to do.
I choose to call them boundaries, principles.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now core values, they make you, you can't fake them.
No, you can't.
So that's about core values. Let's talk about goals. Goals in building an effective career. What is a goal? And I want us to talk about them in terms of the short goals, the long-term goals.
Now, let me bring us back to something very common.
Okay, please
when,
do.
When people are playing football and the ball gets into the
scoring.
goal, and then they're scoring and everybody's like, yes!
I see.
We have made it. And then you see people running, and especially when it is the last score. Especially when it is the last score.
Okay.
Now, when you're talking about a goal, it is something you want to achieve. A goal is what you want to achieve. What do I want to achieve at the end of this thing that I'm beginning to do? That is a goal. And a goal can be long-term or short-term, depending on what you want to achieve. And in your activities, or in the project that you're doing, or in building your profession, building your career, building your family, building actually at every level, Sophie, of life, you have to have goals.
Okay.
Because that is a driving factor. So you set something up. I'm beginning a journey from Arua, and I want to travel to the city of Kampala. That is my goal. I want to reach Kampala. So how you reach Kampala depends on the means that you've decided to use.
Okay.
But your goal is, I need to reach Kampala.
Yes.
And you have to make sure that your goals are achievable.
You don't just set them like that, but you have to make sure that they are achievable.
When you know, your goals must be smart.
Okay.
Your goals must be smart. Whether long-term, a long-term goal can take like maybe, let's say, a year or 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on what you're doing. And a short-term goal, like today you woke up in the morning and you had a short-term goal.
Yeah.
This show was your goal for today.
Exactly. And I achieved it.
And you've achieved it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So a goal has to be achievable. It has to be smart. What am I talking about? Number one, a goal must be specific.
Okay.
A goal must, whether a short-term goal or a long-term goal, it must be specific.
Okay, I understand now. With the way you're going, this SMART is an acronym, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Go on.
So the goal must be specific. That is number one. What exactly do you want to achieve? So you don't meander around the bush. You should be knowing what you want to achieve. That is number one. Number two, your goal must be time-bound. When am I going to achieve this? It has to be measurable.
Okay.
Measurable. I want to see at the end of that day what are the indicators that I have achieved, that I've achieved what I planned to achieve.
Okay.
Number 3, it must be achievable. A goal must be achievable. Friends, it is difficult to set a goal that is not achievable, and that is what frustrates people in building a career or at their work.
Okay.
You see, like I've seen people talking about, I want to just get a job so that I can survive, or I can just be able to build for myself a house or do that. You know, there are certain things that we go in work that are very, actually, I can call it being ambitious.
Okay.
When at the end of the day, you're not able to see what you had thought you'd get, then you get frustrated, and that is why people keep trotting from one job to another.
Okay.
They are not stable. And that brings me back to what I said, that some people just go for a training as a last resort.
As a last resort, because probably the goals were not measurable?
The goals were not achievable. They were not. I said they should be smart. Number 1, they should be specific. They should be measurable. You need to be able to track your progress.
Okay.
That is measurability of a goal. Tracking your progress. I asked you, Sophie, how did you reach here? Then you should be able to tell me a story.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. A story that will also encourage someone.
Okay.
Want to become like you.
Sure,
you
sure.
get. So it should be measurable. It should have a track of progress. And then achievable. Well, it's great to dream big. Your goals also need to be realistic.
Okay.
Let's be realistic. I mean, you know, at times it is very interesting that people set very unrealistic goals. And then you look at this person and you ask, this thing you said you are going to do you really believe that you can achieve it? You know yourself. Before you set a goal, know yourself. Whatever, whether a financial goal, whether it is a relationship goal, whether it is a marital goal, whatever it is, maybe a goal of having children, let it be realistic. Are you able to achieve it?
All right, you should look at the end of it first. You should determine the end of it first. When
now,
you're setting
that
the goal.
means when you're beginning a journey, first go to the end and see, am I going to reach where I want to go? Stand at the end and look at the beginning. And is it worth it?
Okay.
Is it worth this journey?
Can I ask you a question in regard to that? Now, I want to talk to the apostle.
Don't
No,
tickle
the
me
teacher.
now.
Just a quick one. Now, you have talked about the goals being realistic. There are these who trust in God. Yeah, me too, I trust in God. But then, is it possible, like, I set a goal and I just leave it to God? Like, there is this saying that God knows the end right from the beginning. Yeah.
Now, it is good you've asked the apostle. And that is my favorite question. Now, let me take you back to the scriptures.
Okay.
When you look at the book of Genesis, chapter 1, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then day 5, and day 6. Then God worked for 6 days.
Yeah.
And after that, the 7th day, God rested.
Yeah.
And I usually tell people God is still resting. Why is he resting? Because in verse 26, 27, and 28 of Genesis chapter 1, God gave man dominion.
Okay.
He told man, rule.
So it felt like he had done his, now it is our responsibility to continue from there.
Exactly. And that is what I call as the law of dominion.
Okay.
So God told man, take over the earth and subdue it. Rule over the birds of the air and the fish of the sea and everything. So God expected, when you go to Genesis chapter 2, the Bible says that God had not sent rain because there was no man to work the ground. You see that? So now God has given us a responsibility. The law of dominion states that a spirit on the earth here without a body is illegal.
It's illegal.
Yes.
Obviously, that's very true because a spirit needs a body to function through.
That is why you cannot set a goal and say, I leave it to God. And when you read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, the Bible says, we are co-laborers with God.
Okay, I understand. The Bible even says that faith without action is dead.
That's what James says. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with a SMART acronym.
Yes. We say it should be realistic, should be achievable. You look at yourself. Look at the resources that you have.
Okay.
Look at every kind, even you as a person. This goal I have set, am I able to achieve it? Is it realistic enough? Am I not just looking at someone else and wanting to be what I am not? And that is what I usually, I tell the young people, be what you are, know who you are, okay, and do things according to, okay, now that you mentioned Apostle, Jesus said, cut your coat according to the size of material that you have. You cannot begin to want to have a cloth that is big when your material is small.
Okay.
You see that? So you should know who you are. You begin from where you are. Begin from what you have. Begin from what you know that you'll be able to do and finish. So don't surrender and say, me, I have started. As some people say, when beginning is half done. Yes. Now,
now what next?
Now what next? I know beginning is half done, but you still have to continue to completion.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll finish the other part.
No one except you.
Yes. So the next one should be relevant. Your goal should align with your values.
Okay.
And your long-term objectives. It should be relevant. Don't set a goal that is irrelevant to what you want to achieve. What is your objective? What is your objective? You know, at times people say, I want to get married because everybody else has a wife.
I also want to have a wife and children.
I also want to have a wife and children. But at the end of that day, what will happen? When things become hard, I usually say they pick their no problem bag and run away. You pick your no problem
bag and run away.
Yes, from there. So let it be relevant. Let your goals align with your values and your long-term objectives. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to see after 5 years of this thing that you're beginning to do? Then finally, it has to be time-bound. Set a deadline.
Okay.
Set a deadline, because that means you are going to monitor yourself. When you set a deadline for your goal, that means you say, now, what do I need to do at this time? Now, this long-term goal, like in 5 years, I want to have maybe finished my master's, or probably I want to have this kind of building, I want to do that thing. Now, the short-term goals in between will be how you are going to move on with your activity plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say how you're going to move on with your activity plans. We normally say in refining gold. No, yes, that's like a process of refining the gold.
Yes.
There is a lot of work that you have to put in to make that progress,
including even nitric acid.
Nitric acid.
Refining gold.
Exactly. And gold, to get that pure gold, it has to go through fire.
Exactly.
So literally meaning that everything is not going to be on a platter of gold.
No, not all. Now, you see, Sophie, one of the things that I've observed is that some people imagine that success is something that can come overnight. And at the end of that day, someone gets frustrated in between.
Yeah.
But it is a journey.
Obviously, that's what brings frustration. Let's call it over-expectation.
Exactly. Being ambitious, you are expecting so much in the shortest possible time. I've even seen, like in this journey, I have seen people, especially now I'm talking as an employer. Okay. I've seen people who come in, young people especially, and it's so painful. They come in and they begin with zeal, and with time, you see the zeal dying down. Not because they're not being paid, not because conditions have changed, no. It's just because they were thinking of achieving something in the shortest possible time. Then they lose patience in between. They compare themselves with other people. And one thing I need to say here is that everybody is unique.
Okay.
I can't be Sophie.
Exactly. You cannot be me.
I can't.
And I can't be you.
You can't be me, but you can be better than me.
Sure.
As long as you're patient enough. You see that? I'm saying that because now I'm an adult.
I see.
Yes.
All right. We were talking about goals and how you can be able to achieve them. I hope you have learned a lot from there. This is the Real Talk Show at West Nile TV, channel 477 on Star Times and channel 0073 on Zuku Satellite and Azam TV, our new viewers on channel 369. Here comes West Nile TV to your screen, and this is the Real Talk Show. Your presenter for the evening is Aita Sophie, and I am here with Apostle Juliet as the director of Esther Generation, and she is also a teacher, and she is unfolding for us on this topic on your screen, building a career. And we have just concluded talking about setting goals, the short-term goals, the long-term goals, and how you can be able to achieve those goals. And in summary, she said, your goals have to be smart. Smart in a way that it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, has to be achievable, has to be realistic or relevant, and then it has to be in time bound. Okay, let's have a short break and we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
In the dance of shadows and light lies the heart of Uganda's resilience amidst the challenges of the night, where innovation meets necessity and education refuses to be dimmed, where connection thrives in the absence of power. Embrace the power of the sun with StarTime's solar range of solutions. and empower your journey towards a brighter tomorrow. StarTimes Solar. Power your life.
Ekiki nsasula emyezi 3 n'empangula.
Abaye kubadde ki?
Kituufu wensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031 2308 900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A very, very good evening once again to you, and you're most welcome to the Real Talk Show that runs on West Nile TV every Saturday from the hour of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And today at the studio, with a lot of excitement, I am with Apostle Juliet as the director of Esther Generation, and she is also a teacher at Ediofe Girls Secondary. We broke off when we had just concluded about the goals. Yeah. Now I want us to talk about another thing, strengths and passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Strength and passion.
Mm-hmm. So how do you align strengths and passion in building a career? Maybe you can start by briefly defining for us what strengths are, what passions are, and then how you can align them in building a career. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, how can strengths and passions be aligned with career? How do you align your strength? Because what makes you to accomplish or to achieve your goals in your career path is your strength and your passions.
Yeah,
now,
sure.
Identifying your passions, clearly outlined passions allow your career goals to become a reality. When you outline your passions very clearly, they'll make you to your goals to become a reality.
Okay.
Because passion is what you enjoy to do.
Exactly.
Being
Passion is
passionate about something, and that is a driving factor.
I was just about to say it is something that drives you. It comes with a lot of strength in itself.
Passion is a motivational factor. It is something that makes you happy.
Yeah, sure.
Something that when it's mentioned, you smile.
I see. I think I can relate.
You can relate. So when somebody mentions Esther Generation, or even the name Esther, I'm like, I look around, like, are they talking to me? Why? Because I'm passionate about what I do.
Sure.
So each time it's mentioned or I think about it, it brings joy. Passion brings joy to you. You feel there is, I don't know how I can call it, there is a wave that goes through your system.
Okay.
You know, about what you're doing, about what you're passionate about. And when you're passionate about what you do, then it can be very easy for you to achieve your goals. It becomes simple because that means you become self-driven, you become self-motivated. Even when challenges come, you hang on there. You don't give up. You don't throw in the towel. You say, I quit, I quit. No, there is something keeping you going, and that is passion.
Now, about passion, there is something that comes, okay, whether someone has strengths or weaknesses, can that limit the person? Because a person, in a way, as you've said, it is a driving factor, but then somebody's weaknesses, I believe, can want to come in the way, right?
Weaknesses, depending on what you call weaknesses.
Okay, now, there are a lot of personality tests that I have done for myself in particular.
Yes.
You know, I'm someone who always wants to be learning in this building a career thing.
Yes.
So I went out of my way to learn about my personality type. And in it, I found out that I was actually not what I thought I was.
What did you find out?
Like I was 45% an introvert. And I thought I was an extrovert, by the way.
And that is unlikely for a presenter.
I thought I was an extrovert. But then I was also told in my summary that that depends on the mood and the atmosphere that you find yourself in. So when I did the second test, I was 55% an extrovert. And then when at first, when I found myself an introvert, there were a lot of things that were lined there, including my personal weaknesses that I could relate with.
Yes.
So, and I found out that much as I am passionate about the work I do, there are these things that were like mentioned to me, summarized to me as my weaknesses, and these are the same things I found that make me almost want to give up. So how do I overcome in such a scenario?
Overcoming weaknesses is, number one, by turning them into strengths.
Okay.
That is number one. Because everybody has a weakness. There's no one who does not have a weakness.
Okay.
Everyone created has strengths and weaknesses. But we don't capitalize on our weaknesses, especially when they're hindrance to our goal, especially when they're hindrance to what we want to achieve. Number one, knowing your areas of strength and weaknesses increases your self-awareness.
Okay.
Because I found some people who don't accept that they have weaknesses, and it is strange. It is strange.
Everyone has weaknesses.
Everyone. And there is always a black spot in our life. There's an area that you don't know about yourself.
Okay.
And that is something that I can identify about Sophie, that she doesn't know.
Okay.
Just like you're saying, there are certain things that you could relate to, and others. You are surprised that they say you're an introvert, when actually you thought you're an extrovert.
Yeah, sure.
Now, what makes you an extrovert could be maybe your environment. Yeah. Okay. That is what is, because your personality trait can change with the environment.
Okay.
It can change.
If I can understand this, are you saying that it is actually possible to use the resources around me to improve on my strengths?
Exactly, and even to improve on your weaknesses.
To improve on my weaknesses.
And you turn them into strength. You can take advantage of your weaknesses.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Now you see, let me bring it closer. You see, when you know your weakness, your weakness can always be complemented by something. Okay. Do you know that you can train out of your weakness?
How?
My eyes and my mind were open to things that I did not know. I thought I was doing very well in my leadership, but I discovered that, number one, I was not a serious transformational leader. Number two, I did not know how to be a level 5 leader.
Okay.
You see, so I had to go and improve on that area of my weakness, seek for professional help, go to study. That is how you can come out of your weaknesses and accept to learn.
Okay. I understand a level 5 leader is the highest level now, where you have to be, we call it a pinnacle, where you have to leave a legacy.
Where you have to leave a legacy, and you should be able, you don't take credit.
You don't take
A
credit.
level 5 leader does not take credit for success.
Okay.
Credit is shared. The whole team owns the
Okay.
credit.
Okay.
You see, there is that leadership where somebody is a boss, and everything is all around you. You see, it's like without you, people cannot make decisions. Without you, people cannot move. Actually, it's like you move with the whole organization in your briefcase.
And it's like when you're not there, nothing is functioning.
Exactly. It's like you have when the moment you get out of the gate or you get out of the office, that means the organization has gone with you. So, and they cannot do anything. But a level 5 leader is one who knows what it means to work with a team and also delegate effectively. Effective delegation means you give people responsibility and give them authority. And at the end of the day, when you achieve your goal, you achieve success, everybody shares in the what? In the praise. You all take credit. You see? And a level 5 leader is one who raises leaders from the organization. You don't go looking for people unless there's an expertise somewhere. But you build the ones you are with.
Okay.
You build them and keep promoting them to go step by step and achieve the goal. A level 5 leader is one who is ready to face what I call brutal facts.
What are brutal facts?
These are things you don't want to hear.
Okay.
that may not be pleasant to you because you may think that you're doing very well. Now, when you talk about, like, when you look at a graph, when you draw the graph maybe of your life, you say, my graph, I've been growing steadily in my career, and then you reach a certain point and your life becomes a constant.
Okay.
So you are not going up,
You're not coming down.
You're not coming down. So you're just at the same level. So now at this point where there is the peak of your life, of your career, now from that point you ask yourself questions. That's what I call the brutal questions. You ask yourself questions. What have I been doing that has kept me at this level? What is it that we can do better, or I can do better, to make me continue to grow higher?
Okay.
What is it that I can drop? You see, in this journey, you should be able to drop certain things. They may be desirable.
Okay.
They may be good. They may sound so pleasant. But that's where values come in. You see, I'm not going to do this thing because it is going to hinder me from achieving my maybe long-term goal. Because everything you do today will have an effect.
Exactly.
You do today, you reap, you'll find it waiting for you tomorrow. So whatever, that's why I was saying that stand at the end and look at the beginning. And then you ask yourself, is it worth taking this journey? You see that? So the brutal facts will help you. Like you've discovered your weaknesses. Okay. Something you did not know. I discovered that I am an introvert. No. What things have I been doing that makes me to be an introvert? Moreover, my profession needs an extrovert. So you try to look, you search yourself. I was ministering somewhere last night and I said, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Examine yourself. Forget about people around you. Okay. Because you are on a journey. And this journey, you'll achieve it when you open with yourself. Be open-minded. Be open-minded. So that is what I call brutal facts. And in the majority, in most of our organizations, even in maybe in government organizations or non-government organizations, it is difficult for people, even private organizations, to face the brutal facts. That is why stagnation comes in. Okay. And it is very rare for a leader to accept the brutal facts because you always think you are the best.
Exactly. As you had said.
Yes.
Okay, there are people, if they are bosses, they really want to be bosses and they want to be recognized as the boss by the decisions that they make. And as you had said before, like, if they are not there, the company or the organization ceases to exist. Now, we were talking about getting professional help, learning, going to school and all that. But then besides that, I believe the role of a mentorship, or okay, let's call it a role model, is important. Who is a role model in career building?
Who is a role model? Okay, let us get academic now. Who is a role model?
Yeah, who is a role model?
Who is a role model? A role model is someone who has the specific traits and skills that people strive to achieve and enact.
Okay.
There is a specific trait, a skill that somebody will look at and wants to achieve and enact. That is what I refer to as a role model. Yeah.
Okay. So if I have identified somebody, a similar person in my career, or a person who is excelling in the career that I'm trying to build, and he has these skills that I would like to emulate, what can you advise me about this? What are the things that I have to consider in identifying a role model?
A role model. Now, a role model should be someone who can inspire you to move forward. I remember when my elder sister went to the university. By that time, I was still in O-level. And then I looked at her and I admired her. I'm like, oh my God. And you know, there's a way in which a university student, you know, how they dress, how they handle themselves.
You feel it, you want to be there yourself.
And I mean those days. I'm not talking about the university students of these days that are a little bit careless with their lives. But those days, you know, I looked at my sister and I'm like, oh no, I must reach the university. If this is what it means, she never spoke to me. I just looked at her and she inspired me, you see. And then another role model I have, when I was in primary, I did my primary in Iganga, Berkeley High School, and we had this head teacher called Mrs. Isabiri, very smart. Oh my God! I
can imagine.
she was very smart, and she would tell us it doesn't rain in a boarding school. Yeah, it doesn't rain in a boarding school. Now you look at her and she's just all straight and very smart, and then you see how she handles herself, how she talks to the children, and then there was my teacher. There was this teacher who taught me in O-level geography, and oh my God, that lady! Oh, I think
I can feel it. I can imagine. Yeah, the way you're saying it.
A role model is supposed to do in your emotions, everything about you.
Okay.
This person should be able to inspire you, to inspire you to achieve, to inspire you to perform better, to develop particular skills. A role model is someone who others may emulate or admire because they are efficient or skilled in some way. So you look at many things. You don't just look at somebody and say, let this one be my role model because I've seen this particular area. No, go into details because that is what you're making yourself to be. And that is what you're building in yourself. And if with time, one of my sons, even one of my daughters in Koboko, these are spiritual daughters and sons. When they minister, people tell them, I see Apostle Juliet in you.
Okay.
You see that? That means there is a spirit in that role model that you, how do I get this? I'm now getting to an apostle. You know, life is spiritual.
Yeah, sure.
So whatever we do is spiritual. So there is a spirit in this person that you are admiring. What is what makes them to do what you admire.
Okay.
So as you continue to admire this person and to learn about them, that is what you get you attract to yourself what is what as a man thinks, so
is he.
So you're ever admiring this, I say, I want to be, how can I reach there? You know, each time you keep talking to yourself, you're attracting that same spirit to pull you up and excel.
Now I can relate. This is the same thing, like if you are really looking at somebody and learning from them, when you, actually, just a very simple way in our churches today, this is off the topic though, but the tongues of some pastors and their sons is almost the same.
Yeah.
Even the way they preach is almost the same. When the son is giving a public speech, you may think it is the father.
Even the voice. Because you see, that is mentorship, that is fatherhood, or it is motherhood. It's like, let me now, let us come to this example. When Elijah was taken away, and then Elisha picks this cloth, and then he reaches the Jordan, and then he strikes the river, and then he screams and says, where is the God of Elijah? Then he hits the river and it splits. Then the sons of the prophet look at him and say, the spirit of Elijah rests upon him, is in him. They saw Elijah in Elisha, and that is what is supposed to be. And a role model is supposed to reproduce. A mentor is supposed to reproduce themselves. And let us think about what my spiritual father, Bishop David Otto, calls a transgenerational transfer of whatever you have. You see, I'm not thinking about myself. Actually, now at my age, I'm looking at who is there that I can pour myself in. Who is going to take over from here? And I don't want this person to bring it down. I want this person to take it higher.
Even, and do more than you did.
And do better, you see, and do better. Let the next generation take it to another level, and then the next generation, let it go 3, 4, 5 generations. You see? So that is the role of a mentor. And as you admire a role model, that should be what you're thinking about. You see that? And now this is a caution to people who are in leadership. Now, make sure the way you handle your leadership, the way you do things should be in such a way that the young ones should want to be like you. They should. So that there will be a continuity of the good thing that you started.
This is to us the leaders. Now, do you think so that the young ones can learn from you, and then it will be a continuity of where you had left? All right, you are watching the Real Talk Show at West Nile TV, channel 477 on Star Times Uganda, channel 0073 on Zuku Satellite, and channel 369 on Azam TV. Let's have a short break as we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
In the dance of shadows and light lies the heart of Uganda's resilience amidst the challenges of the night, where innovation meets necessity and education refuses to be dimmed, where connection thrives in the absence of power. Embrace the power of the sun with StarTime's solar range of solutions and empower your journey towards a brighter tomorrow. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
Ekiki nsasula emyezi 3 n'empangula. Ha!
Abaye kubadde ki?
Kituufu ensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031-2308-900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, you're most welcome to West Nile TV, the real talk show, the 9th of November episode 2024 with Sophie and Apostle Juliet as right on your screen, talking about building a career. You are seeing something there, professionalism. It is a big topic of its own. But we broke off when we were still concluding and finalizing about a role model. So I just want us to quickly talk about that, and then we shall jump into this bigger one called professionalism. So what are the qualities of a role model?
Yeah, I'm going to give us like about 5 qualities of a role model, so that whoever wants to choose a role model can know what to look for.
Okay. Because
when you're talking about qualities, it has to be something which can be quantitative. It has to be tangible.
Okay.
It has to have a track record. You know, you have to follow this person. I mean, you need to get details. Don't just admire someone and say, that is my role model. What do you know about them? Now, number one, a role model should have passion and ability to inspire. Passion and ability to inspire. A role model, you know, shows passion for their work and have the capacity to infect others with their passion.
Okay.
You now I think you think about the word infect.
Yes, infect someone with their passion. Okay, looking at the word infect, like this person has to draw it even without them.
Passion must become contagious. When you see the way I do my work, maybe at Esther Generation, when you see the way I do my work, even in class, when I'm teaching my students, you should catch the disease of my passion. That is, passion has to be contagious.
Okay.
You see, because I talked about a spirit. You're putting a spirit in someone, so that person is motivated even inspired, you know, to realize that there is something in me that I can bring out, which I had not seen. Because when you watch someone, you're like, and by then you can't be passionate about a role, you cannot follow a role model that does not have something in common with you. There's always that common thing that attracts you to that role model. There is something.
Okay.
Yes. Number 2, a role model has a clear set of values. Role models act in ways that support their beliefs and values. We talked about values and their beliefs. You have to, whatever you do should support your beliefs and values.
Okay.
And when somebody wants you to be their role model, that means they have to look at your beliefs. Now, somebody who does not believe in Jesus Christ cannot have me as their role model.
Yeah,
because
sure.
there are values that someone may say, me, I love moving to certain places in the night. And that is not where you'll see Apostle. So that means there are certain values that you cannot, you know, so you have to be able to align with that.
Okay.
Number 2, role models show that success is possible despite obstacles.
Okay. Success is possible despite obstacles. Of course, obstacles will always come.
That is.
It's
if
like
you don't expect obstacles, then you are living in another world.
They are part of the success story.
I usually tell people, and you see, the challenge, Sophie, is that many successful people don't talk about their challenges.
Okay.
So you sit there as a young person, you begin to admire this person, and like, oh wow, this life, I wish I could be like Apostle Julie. Because Apostle Julie may not tell you the other side of the story. But I usually tell people, I better build you with the other side of the story instead of building you with this one that everybody knows.
Okay.
This is just face value. What really happens behind the scenes is what makes me what I am out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
The challenges, overcoming challenges is what makes you stronger.
And you must overcome them. And passion makes you to.
Okay. All right, continue with the qualities.
Okay. Selflessness and acceptance of others. Role models are others' need. Role models see others' needs and act on them. A role model is a person who is not selfish.
Okay.
A role model, you derive your joy from seeing others succeed. They love to meet the needs of other people, make the lives of others easy and simpler, and wanting them to achieve more.
Okay.
When you are a role model, that means people have seen in you selflessness. It is like a mother giving away the last plate of food when she has not eaten. That is being selfless.
Okay.
Looking at others' needs and looking at others' needs more important than yours.
Like putting them before you.
Exactly. That is being selfless.
Okay.
Now, one time, one of my sons said, Mommy, there's a way in which, actually I think they had planned. They had talked about it. And then this one was courageous enough to tell me, as I was taking him to school. He said, Mommy, I think you need to stop getting into people's lives. They come to you when they need, but then after you've done your best to make them what they are, they at the end of the day don't appreciate and hurt you.
Okay.
Can you stop doing that?
So the kids are actually watching.
They're watching. So can you please reduce on that? Then I told him, I said, that is me. I don't see myself doing otherwise.
Okay.
Because that is not me. What you're telling me to do is not me. But I'll try to be careful. I said, okay, yeah, you be careful.
I think you're this kind who finds passion in doing that and then doesn't expect from the ones you are doing it to. Actually,
if you're always expecting something, you expect to receive. If your giving has a hook, you see, there is that giving that is a straight arrow.
Okay.
That you don't expect anything back. But if you're giving, when I'm talking about giving, I'm not talking about just money or anything. Whatever you give in terms of mentorship or whatever in every area of your life, when you give without a hook, then you can be happy. But when you give with a hook, that means you draw an arrow and expecting a return. At the end of the day, you get frustrated.
Exactly.
So a role model is selfless. They're out to see how other people can be better. Their lives can be better. And they're drawn by love.
So with these qualities of a role model you have mentioned, should I just have a role model who is physical, or I can have a role model who even doesn't know about me, who doesn't know that I exist?
Okay, finally, a role model is committed, okay, to the community. A role model, they are focused.
Okay.
And they are committed to their community. Now, you can have, by the way, I have, let me mention one. I admire, there's some ladies I admire, like Jennifer Musisi. Wow. When she was the director of KCCA, I up to today, each time I think about leadership and how I can improve myself,
You think about her?
I think about her. Because here is a lady who comes to KCCA and turns things around. And she remains firm. And she's in for the community. She's in for the work. She's in for the job that she was given. She's an achiever. You see that? But I've never mentioned this to anyone, and today I'm saying it here.
Okay. Wow.
You see? She doesn't know me. She doesn't. What about Miriam Matembe? You see? She's good. There's things about her that you see? So a role model may not necessarily need to know you. I have people whom I meet, and they tell me, by the way, I've been following you for 10 years.
Okay.
I've been watching you, and you've been an inspiration to me. And I'm like, what? You see? And I'm not even close to them. There's one who told me from the day she got born again, she just told me last year, from the day she got, and it was like, it's over 10 years. From the day she got born again, she has been watching my life, and I've been an inspiration to her.
Okay, would you believe it if I tell you that I've been watching you too? And that's one of the reasons you're here, actually, because more than 10 years ago, I was a little girl, and was in P7. We had, I think that was in 2010, we had kind of skills training at Esther Generation, where we were taught how to make things using our hand, even compose songs from the scriptures and so on. So I saw you girls, I saw how they were behaving, so I was like, wow, I want to be like this. Who is the person? So when I learned about you as the director of Esther Generation, because you were not really directly involved in teaching us, but then I said, this is it. So as a little girl, I was watching, and I kept watching as I grew. And I'm not ashamed to mention it. You, let me say, the best as a lady who inspires me in Arua. And besides you, I look up to, let me call Pastor Gloria. Yeah, I look up to her too. So, like, looking at you, you are an inspiration to me as well. I watched you. So she's actually not alone. They're not alone. Me too, I'm here. And that's one of the reasons as to why you're here today.
Thank you so much. I take that as a compliment, and I'm humbled to hear that. And I think at this point, I'd also like to tell some of the people watching us out there that God has lifted to a certain level, either in our land, in West Nile, or anywhere else, you know, in this nation, or wherever you are. You should know that there are people who are watching you, and they are drawing their strength. Let me use that word.
From you.
Drawing their strength from you.
Sure.
From the way you do things, and you are making them what they are without having to interact with them directly. And I believe it is one of the things that as leaders in this nation, we need to think about. When we look, now at least I know Sophie is drawing part of her strength from me.
Yeah, sure.
So it keeps me now even more careful. Actually, what you've spoken will make me walk out of here more careful.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes, because
but I think there is no need to, because it has been over 10 years and...
and you're telling me now. Yeah, but you see, I'm saying that because hearing that will now make me, we are talking about areas of strength and weakness.
Yeah,
So
sure.
how can I become better? Because you're not alone. There are many others out there who are looking at this lady and they're like, oh, this one, there's something about her that I really admire, and that spirit. So I have to check myself. Where is my strength?
Okay.
And then what about my weaknesses? How can I turn them into strength? Or how can I get rid of them if I can?
Okay.
How can I improve on myself? So that I look at the generation. You see, when you're in the front, at the back there's a line of people following you. Now, tomorrow, who is going to sit here and talk?
Okay.
That's a question every leader should ask.
Now, yeah, who will sit here and talk tomorrow? And by the way, if you are a leader, just know there is someone following you. So whatever you do, you may not know they couldn't have come to you and say, hey, I'm following you, or I want you to be my mentor, you are my role model. They couldn't have come to tell you that, but obviously they are following you. So I would say also, let's be careful when we are trying to, when we are leading there. Being careless is out of it, because however it is, whatever it is you're doing, someone may be looking onto you. You never know how small it is. So let's go to professionalism. What is professionalism in building a career?
Professionalism is how you, number one, how you conduct yourself when you are at work, so that you represent both yourself and your organization positively. That is professionalism. How do you represent your organization positively? Because at the end of the day, it is the name of that profession that suffers. I used to get heartbroken when I hear teachers defiling children in primary schools. When I hear a head teacher has been arrested for corruption. When I hear this and that has happened, it is the profession. When I look at how people represent their profession or their organization negatively, that is not professionalism. Professionalism, you have to make sure that you represent your organization positively. And that is what should be in your mind. If you're a nurse in the hospital, how are you handling your patients? How are you handling the patients? What will they say about that profession? Will somebody admire? Actually, I look at my students and I'm like, I wish many of you could become teachers. Yes. So in many workplaces, the leadership outlines expectations for behavior and appearance of the staff. So it is very important how you appear, you see, as a professional. And these are outlined. It is outlined. And then part of being professional is adhering to requirements of the organization. It is also about embodying professional characteristics and the values of your organization, so that you are a good representative and a role model. That word is appearing again. So that you are a good role model. You represent your organization. You see? So whatever you do, you should make sure you are a representative. That is professionalism. And one of the things I've discovered in this era, I don't know whether it happens only in this part of the world, is that professionalism is something that many people have in the shells. They look at how much can I benefit from what I am doing in terms of cash, instead of being professional. And that means there's a professional gap that we are going to see as we move on.
Okay.
In our generation, in your generation.
I don't know if I should be scared, but I can just say God is faithful.
God is
we look
faithful.
for a better tomorrow.
Yes, and you, the young people, you should now begin to ask yourself a question. In the next 15 to 20 years, or even 5 years, 10 years, depending on how old you are and where you are, where will I be? You put yourself at that time,
Okay.
and look at yourself and say, is this what I want to be? Or is this what I want to do? Ask yourself and begin to work at it.
Okay.
Yeah, begin to work at it. And you'll achieve.
Today we are in an era where actually talking about professionalism, like having a role model in the profession, as you had said, having people who are distant from you. We're in an era of social media. And most professionals in social media, could we say there is this common word that social media is fake? Yeah, most professions are found in social media. So there are a lot of things people do there that we could actually admire. But then you had said that a role model has to be someone you follow. But then if you follow this person keenly, you may actually find that it is not what you thought. It is not what you thought it was.
And you see, a role model can also be somebody whom you can interact with, or maybe can be a mentor. And a role model should be someone whose weaknesses you can also accept,
Okay.
but you don't adopt. You see that. And this social media, by the way, I think to some extent I agree with you. Social media may be fake because we see face value.
Yeah.
We see face value.
And you don't know what's going on behind.
You don't know what's going on behind. And that is why it is not good to get yourself under the spirit of somebody you don't know. And that brings me also to an area of, one time my father was talking about a fatherless generation. You see, we have a fatherless generation because you cannot look at a powerful preacher on YouTube and then you say, that is my father. Because if somebody is your father, then you should know where he sleeps. You should know how he earns his living.
Yeah.
You should know the other side of his life. You see? But now, and he should be able to, a father is a mentor. A father is a nourisher.
Okay.
A father is a provider. He's a teacher. He's supposed to be a role model to you. A father is somebody who's supposed to bring out the potential in you. So how is that person going to father you when he doesn't even know who you are?
Okay. Now, that's a very, very important question over there. When we're choosing our mentors or role models, I think we should really be very careful and go for the right ones that can make you grow. Now, you said in professionalism, I should be able to represent my company or my organization effectively. What skills do I need? Or what knowledge do I need to represent, to act or to be professional?
Number one, you need a training.
Okay.
Very important. You need to be trained in that area of your maybe career or your profession. You need to be trained because when you are trained, then you know exactly what to do.
Okay.
And now remember, you're working with an organization that has policies that are set.
Yeah, sure.
And these policies have to be adhered to. Like we are here now, there are certain things, there are guidelines for us to be on air, isn't it? So if you want to grow as a professional, then you should understand that where you're working, these policies are a guiding line for you. That is number one. You follow the company policies.
Okay.
And at times it's also very important to give company policies to new employees. They should know what your expectations of them are.
Okay.
It's very important. But there's an era where you find someone coming to work and there's no orientation. And then you're just shown, this is your office, and you have your appointment letter with your job description. But how do I go about it? How do I handle, assuming that I do certain things which are off?
Because every organization has their own policies, as you had said, and there is a way they handle themselves, which might actually be different from where this person is coming from.
Exactly. So that is number one. Number two, engage with your work. Okay. Being fully engaged with your work is a way of demonstrating professional behavior. You know, these days we have people who, yesterday somebody was telling us that some people only pretend to work when their supervisors are around. That's not professionalism. Engage fully in your work. What have you gone to do there? And you see, engaging fully in your work will help you.
Okay.
And not the person who is supervising you. By the way, professionalism is for you.
It's for me.
It is for your benefit.
It's for my benefit.
Because at the end of the day, you are going to move somewhere.
And obviously, if you are not professional, it comes back to you, as you have just said. Yeah. It's for you.
It is for you. Yeah. Because you're building your career and you're setting yourself apart to achieve a goal.
Yeah.
So that means when you go to a place, you should have also your personal goals to achieve. They have given you the expectations.
Okay.
But what about you who is going to do the work? You see, you also have your goal. This is, as I am working with this organization, this is how I expect, this is what I expect to do, to achieve. And then also, how do you build on that? You see, every exposure in a new place is a classroom. Let me speak in our language now as a teacher. Every place, you see, is a classroom. Now today I came to this studio, and that's why I was saying, wow, I didn't know that there was another studio here, because we have been down there. You see, so now I'm looking around. Actually, by the time we started, I'd already looked around the room and I could tell everything that is in this room. Get yourself acquainted, and what am I going to learn? Maybe tomorrow, if I want to set up a studio,
how will you go about it?
How will I go about it? You see?
Okay, we shall continue with that conversation after a short break. This is the Real Talk Show at West Nile TV, channel 477 on Star Times, channel 369 on Azam TV, and channel 0073 on Zuko Satellite. We are coming back to read your comments and to read your questions, to read your inquiries. And then we shall still continue with these general skills or knowledge in building a career. Let's get back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
the dance of shadows and light lies the heart of Uganda's resilience amidst the challenges of the night, where innovation meets necessity and education refuses to be dimmed, where connection thrives in the absence of power. Embrace the power of the sun with StarTime's solar range of solutions and empower your journey towards a brighter tomorrow. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
Ekiki nsasula emyezi 3 n'empangula.
Abaye kubadde ki?
Kituufu ensasula emyezi 3 mpangula. Kituufu.
Subscribe for 3 months to any package of your choice or grab an Azam TV kit and pay for 3 months and stand a chance to win life-changing rewards. Android smart TVs, fridges, motorcycles, and that is not all. You could walk away with free subscription or the grand prize of 20 million Ugandan shillings in cash. Yes, 20 million grand prize. Subscribe today and enter the draw. For more information, 031-2308-900 or visit any Azam TV dealer near you.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
You are most welcome from that short commercial break, and this is the Real Talk Show at West Nile TV. We are still continuing. Now, time is not on our side. We'll have to go straight to the point. We were talking about I caught you in the middle of something which was very, very important. Now I want you to continue.
Professionalism.
Yes.
We said you engage in your work. Then the next one is be courteous and respectful. That means towards your clients, managers, and other team members.
Okay.
Because that one now shows you professionalism at work. You be respectful, be courteous. It doesn't matter who comes to you. Because I always tell people, we are there to serve.
Okay.
And it doesn't cost much to smile.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Instead, it takes more energy to frown. So when somebody comes to your office, regardless of who you are, or to your workplace, you smile. Even at your business place, you smile, be courteous, be respectful. You know, your attitude reflects on yourself and your organization. Okay. Your attitude. Attitude is very important in professionalism. Okay. You should maintain a positive attitude. Because if you don't maintain a positive attitude, by then you'll not function. You'll not function. And everything around you will just be a mess. You are disgruntled. You are complaining. You are, tired. You are angry. I mean, you begin to look older than your age. Everything, attitude is very important. So you maintain a positive attitude.
By the way, let me just remind someone, we are talking about the general skills and knowledge needed in building an effective career.
Yes.
So attitude actually is very, very important. Okay, with the way you have explained, I get it, like your attitude can actually kill your career.
Yeah, true, true. Your attitude can kill, not only your career, can kill you.
Okay.
Your attitude. Because now look at a patient arriving in the hospital, and you find maybe a doctor who has a very bad attitude. Even if I'm not, if I may go there when I'm 30% sick, but when I look at you and the way you show me an attitude, negative attitude, I can become 70% sick. It's very important. You know, attitude is what will make you to either follow your passions and make you stronger, or it can make you weaker. Have you ever seen people who have such a negative attitude to the point that they even develop high blood pressure?
Yeah, yeah.
They develop ulcers, diabetes, depression, attitude. And attitude can make you fail to even achieve the simplest thing. So professionalism, maintain a positive attitude, and that is how you keep attracting people to the organization. One time, let me give you this experience.
Okay.
You know, where we are in an area that is not in the center of the city. So our community is not that community where you expect maybe fees to be collected once. Others give, but others struggle.
Yeah.
So when they come to the office, we smile. It doesn't cost much to smile. So one lady said, by the way, whether you come in angry, you immediately you reach the office and you enter and they receive you, the anger disappears.
Okay.
You
You will just find yourself happy.
Yeah.
You will smile.
It is the environment. Attitude makes your environment. So what kind of environment do you have? What are you building? What are you, you know, your environment is what you make. The energy you release is what makes your environment what it is. If you are positive, your environment will be filled with positive energy. Even if somebody comes around you that is disgruntled, I usually tell people, I want to, when I reach a place, I want to change the environment. I want to find where there is no hope, let there be hope. Where somebody has lost direction, let this person find direction. Let any interaction with me, even if it is only for 2 minutes, just saying hello should be enough to change somebody's, you know, somebody's life somehow, to affect them. So the environment is created by your attitude. The way you look at things, the way you do things, the way you handle things, how you feel about it. You see, and that is the energy you release in your environment. And friends, that is the energy that builds your profession.
Okay.
Because you as a person, you are an epitome of energy that you are releasing in your environment. So whatever you have and you're giving out will now is what will infect. You remember I talked about affecting the people as a role model.
Yeah.
So it is what will affect the people around you. And I've checked this thing at my workplace. And there was a time I used to tell my colleagues, and I tell them, please, first observe my mood in the morning before you come to the office.
Okay.
First observe my mood before you come to the office. Before you tell me anything, please first watch how I've come to the office. So they were like, careful. And I'm like, yeah, it's very important because you never know. So at times you come in, and that is how I've been growing in my leadership.
Okay.
At times you are like, there's a challenge, something you're going. And I discovered when I come to the office with a bad mood, then the whole compound gets that mood.
Wow.
The whole place is like people tension, everybody, freedom is people become bound. Let me use that word. No one, there's no joy, everything is not right. So I sat back and thought for myself, and I'm like, now, even if things are going wrong, Apostle will smile, and they will not know. But when I go back and I tell others, I say, please, there's this challenge, but let's keep a face. Because other people are feeding on they are getting their energy from us.
Okay.
Yes. So be courteous, have a positive attitude. It reflects your organization. It's important to be supportive and encouraging others to use appropriate language.
Using of
appropriate language. I've had people say, after all, were you there when I started this organization? I mean, have you thought about that? Where were you when I was suffering? Now you've come after this, after I struggled, I've created jobs, and then you come in and who are you? I mean, that language is terrible. Because I usually tell my people, by the way, you are others, I tell them you're my feet, others you're my hands, others you're my ears, other people are my eyes, others every part of the body. An organization is an organism that you as a leader should make sure that you feed and feed with the right food. Now the people around you that God has brought to you is like, let me be an apostle now. It is like in Habakkuk when God said, write the vision down so that a herald can run with it. That means the herald, these are the people that God will bring to come and help you. No, an organization remains yours when it is still a vision with you. But the moment you roll it out and you tell people, this is what I'm doing, then it ceases to be yours. It becomes ours.
And sometimes even people catch the person, people catch the fire, and you as the vision bearer may not be the eye of that organization anymore.
No. And that is the beauty. That is even my prayer as a vision bearer. And that should be the prayer of every vision bearer. Let people come into the organization and let them catch up with that vision. Let them own it. Let them be able to run with it beyond you, even your children. And I want to caution you, our children. You see, when your parents are doing something, get interested. Yeah, get interested. So that you pick up from there. Do not allow this scripture that says it is an error. Solomon said, it is an error for servants to ride on horses while the prince is walking on foot. Have you ever read that one?
Yeah, I know.
It is an error for a servant to ride on a horse while a prince, who should be the heir to the throne, riding the horse, is walking on foot. You see that? And the children out there, identify with what your parents are doing. And allow yourself to get into that system. Because one of the things that I've been observing in our land, even in the nation, there are no companies that have survived 2 to 3 generations. People die and the company is buried with them. What the children do is to just grab things here and there. And 2, 3 years, the name is no more. So what happens? The effort is wasted.
There's no legacy that was left.
There's no legacy. And something somebody has worked hard to build just crumbles like that. Be responsible. Professionalism. Be responsible. Working responsibly and being accountable for errors and mistakes is a way of showing professional characteristics. Accept mistakes. I mean, yes, accept mistakes. And mistakes are human. They are common.
As you had said before, that there is consequences for everything.
Yes.
Whatever you do, you will find a result ahead. So I believe each and everyone should actually be responsible for their actions.
Be responsible. Accept your mistakes. Where there's need to apologize, say I'm sorry. It doesn't cost much. To say I'm sorry.
It's actually a strength and not a weakness.
Apology is a strength. You see, it is. So if you can't say I'm sorry and just assume, that is not professionalism.
True.
And also, people who are leaders, you should also know that that no one is perfect around you.
Even you yourself are
Even
not
you
perfect.
yourself. Yeah, you need each other. My strength complements your weakness.
Wow.
So where I am strong and you're weak,
I can be able to draw my strength
you
from
draw
your strength.
my strength will support you. And then my weakness, the area where I am weak, should draw strength from you.
I have to learn from it. And
We move together as a team.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now, are you done from there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much about that, because it has really been extensive, these general skills and knowledge needed. And I myself am learning. As I said, this place has become more of a class. I'm grateful I brought in a teacher in this aspect of a career building. Now, Zion Mark Eric is talking and saying that, how sure are you that a successful career can come based on your SMART, like the acronym just you stated, and yet education system is wanting, and our parents also care less about shaping a child's career at early stages of their lives.
Let me make a quotation. My father, he usually loves saying that you find frustrated family giving birth to frustrated children. And then these frustrated children, they go to school and they are taught by frustrated teachers. Then this child ends up becoming a frustrated professional. Now, what brings this frustration is because our education system is a white-collar education system.
Yeah.
Everybody who goes to school, even you hear parents telling their children, when you go to school, I want you to become a doctor so that you can work in the hospital. I want you to become a manager, maybe an accountant, so that you can get a job in the bank.
And they even point for you so that you can be like so and so.
Exactly. So our education system, I'm an educationist. I've taught for more than 25 years now.
Okay.
And our education system, before the new curriculum was introduced 4 years ago, has been a dependency, actually enslavement. And our education system has been a system that makes people to come out being more vulnerable than strengthening them.
Okay.
I agree with him. Our education system has been it has been making us slaves. Our talent, our natural ability has not been brought out. You see that? Such that somebody comes out of the university, like today we're for university graduation. So everybody is thinking of getting a job. And 10 years down the road, he has not got a job.
Yeah.
And he is frustrated.
Last week, I think UCU also graduated a lot of
Yes.
students.
So now, but I thank God that our education system has changed. Now we have competence-based curriculum, whereby a student, by the time the student reaches senior 3, is able to solve community problems or even their own problems. There are skills that they are giving them. I asked my son who finished P7 the other day, I said, how were exams? He said, Mommy, most of the questions required thinking. You see? And that is what our education system never gave us before. You see, I agree. I looked at a clip whereby in that clip there were 2 groups of children. There's this group of young children who were being taught how to make tables.
Okay.
And then there's this group of our children who are being told to say, teacher is on the table. Then the teacher goes under the table, they say, teacher is under the table. Meanwhile, the same age group, here they are saying, this is how we make a table. And there they are saying, this is how we use a table. So how do we make a table?
You don't know.
Actually, for us, I'm now thinking, I'm thinking that we need to try and introduce certain things at primary level, like vocational skills, so that by the time, even when a child goes, like what you said, we taught you at Esther Generation, is there's a girl who is surviving on that embroidery, by the way.
Wow.
She's in Lira.
Wow.
She made embroidery cards sold, and that's how she was getting her pocket money. And then others were making bed sheets, making very many things, and we want to reinstate that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think Zion Man Eric, you have gotten that, because he also gave a comment here, because he says it is his opinion. He says, to me, we shall still have a confused generation in terms of career building, so long as our education system still remains. And if it is young generation, if it is the young generation, and if the young generation is not concentrated on early enough, more is needed.
Yeah, and also parents, we need to give time for our children. You see, these days people are too busy looking for money. Parents leave very early in the morning and then come back late in the night. You don't have time with your children. It is good to have time with your children. I remember, I celebrate my mom. I celebrate my mom because she always told us that life is what you make it. I'm giving you an education, but you have to use it to make sure that there's meaning in your life for it.
Okay.
You see? So you have to teach your children. Teach. That is what even God told the children of Israel in the book of Deuteronomy. Teach them. Yeah, teach them.
Now, as we are almost rounding up with only 5 minutes left,
Wow.
I want to read some of the, time has run so fast, right? I want to read some of the comments here, and then you will give in the final words.
Okay.
Harriet Adania, he said, bravo Sophie and bravo Pastor Juliet. And Music Times in Bidibidi is saying, Victor connecting from Koboko. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Harriet, for watching West Nile TV. And Victor is also saying, please tell Pastor Juliet that he is so excited about your person to bring light to the people of this world, especially through the schools. So Victor also says that I can't wait to join her to bring a music program to her school.
Wow. You're welcome, Victor.
Victor was here last Saturday, and Victor says that he is the director of a music school in Bidibidi settlement. Yeah.
Okay, it will be nice to meet you, Victor, and we shall talk. You come. I love promoting young people.
All right, and then Bishop Richard Odok is saying, we thank God. And lastly, Bernard Aiko is saying, this is beautiful. Thank you so much, viewer, for watching West Nile TV. But before we close, we have special words for you based on building a career. Can you give us your final words?
Yeah, now, building a career and success is a process. It doesn't come overnight. It is hard work and diligence. Make sure that you remain passionate about what you do and invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in what you want to see succeed. Think about transforming the community. Don't think about yourself alone. Think about the community. Think about tomorrow's generation. How will you look at them? Professionalism is responsibility. It is not just a name. It is not just a title. It is responsibility. So for all the professionals out there, let's keep pressing on. We have people watching us, like Sophie. We have people watching us. So let's give them the best. Yeah, let's give them the best.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Apostle Juliet, for those wonderful words. Actually,